Boys, it's been a minute, but the cast is back, bro. Welcome to the Extra Chromosome with your host, Ashton Haga. Now, it's not very topical this week, but it's mostly about Greenland. So, I've been reading a lot about Greenland, dude, and I'll be honest. Basically, what it boils down to is Greenland's going to become immensely important in the Arctic regions. A lot of it, like, it's already becoming important, but like it's a super important strategic location, especially for us against Russia. Like, if we did have a war against Russia, like Greenland is hugely important. Right there, so like between Norway and Greenland, there's this, like, I don't know exactly what the strait's called, but there's like this waterway where Russia, a lot of their nuclear submarines, and that's where a lot of their naval activity is. They have at least one confirmed nuclear submarine in that little area, which is like crazy, bro. Which is crazy. And then like the big debate on Greenland, it's not about like if we need to put troops in Greenland, if we don't need to put troops in Greenland. The real debate is about like should we can accomplish, like, basically it's we can accomplish the same goals by cooperating with Denmark and not instead of like owning Greenland, you know? And by like buying Greenland and bullying Denmark into selling us Greenland or letting us get Greenland, we would undermine Russia, the NATO alliance, which is what people are really saying. Now, my opinion, honestly, like, look, we could accomplish the same things, but dude, who's the big dog, bro? Oh, we gotta work with Denmark. Fuck the Danes, bro. Fuck the Danes, bro. Look, but for real, like, at the end of the day, it does kind of boil down to what Trump is saying. Like, Trump says in his speech to the World Economic Forum, he said, "We will not defend it." Like, you know, he's like, to defend it, we need to own it. We aren't gonna defend it if we don't own it. Like, he's like, what's the fucking point? Like, why would I defend it? But we do need it. So, and I think at the end of the day, it's not going to undermine NATO or do anything like that. Like, the people, you have to give concessions to the U.S. At the end of the day. The U.S. needs concessions where we are kind of the big dog in NATO. Like, yeah, Britain's got some ships, they got whatever, but no, we are the guys. Like, if does come down to war, it's going to be the majority U.S. Like, the U.S. is going to be the machine behind it. So I don't think it's going to really undermine anything. And, like, what are they going to do without us? Like, they're just going to say bye-bye to the U.S., bro? NATO? We own NATO. We own them. We own the whole thing, dude. Nobody's saying bye-bye to the U.S., bro. The U.S., oh my, it's crazy to me. But, I will say, like, the minerals are also pretty good. Greenland's got a lot of minerals, you know. But the big thing with Greenland, I will say, is Greenland is kind of like a MILF, you know, that just got on, she just got on Facebook, you know. She's looking good. She's in her mid-40s, but she's got a good bod, you know. She just threw a bikini photo up on fucking, she just threw a bikini photo up on, on Facebook. And now, she's, and now she's getting messages from Russian dudes, you know, they're going, oh, you look, I can't really do a Russian, but it's like, yes, you look very, I would love to, no, this is a better one. It's like, I'd love to give you nuclear orgasms. It's more German, Dutch, weird. But, you know, she's got like some weird European husband who she's kind of been with for a while, so she doesn't know if she wants to split up. You know, she's getting a lot of Chinese guys just looking at her post, maybe leaving likes, maybe they leave a comment like, oh yeah, that's very nice. My accents are terrible. But now she's getting hit up by her old boyfriend, her ex, and he's a slick U.S. businessman, you know? And, you know, 4 years ago, he was talking crazy, you know, like how he's going to beat the shit out of her boyfriend and all this other stuff. And now he's chilled out. He's like, look, I don't want to do anything physical. I just want to love you. I just want to take care of you. I just want to give you a safe home. And I can protect you better than your fucking weird European boyfriend. What is he going to do against some of these Russian dudes? This guy Putin's crazy. What's he going to do? You know, but this weird Danish, the bit's not really working. I'm trying to think of something like that for Greenland, but like that for a bit, but I can't really come up with it, man. But honestly, I think we are gonna need Greenland. I kind of think we're in this new age of imperialism where you can see it with China looking to take Taiwan, Russia taking Ukraine, and now the U.S. looking at possible places like Venezuela. Now, regardless of like the moral obligations and stuff like that, as the moral obligations and the moral implications or whatever of this new age of imperialism, we do need to get our share. If China and Russia are going to get more land, are going to take more land, the U.S. does need compensation. We need something. Like, we cannot be left in the dust, anything like that. Like, the U.S. needs something, bro. Like, the U.S. needs to walk away with minerals from Venezuela. It needs to walk away with oil from Venezuela. We need to walk away with minerals. We need to walk away with military bases up the wazoo in Greenland. Like, we need to be situated so well that war with Russia and China, Russia and China cannot win a war against us. Right now, if they did team up, it's going to be a hard-fought battle. I do think the U.S. is going to win because we're the big dog. Woo, woo. But, like, we need to make the thought of war an impossibility, of where they think like there's no possible way we can take America. And the big points we need to be defending are, of course, Greenland. Obviously, Alaska needs to come into this Russian defense, of course. And I think they've already looked into Alaska, and I think Alaska is very well secured. But Alaska is also very hard. It's a hard-fought territory. Like, they aren't gonna, like Alaska, it's so like barren and stuff. It's like just wildlife. Like, it's a really hard place to invade. But the big thing with Greenland is the nuclear submarines right there. But I also think Alaska is very strategically important. We should be putting some more troops and possibly just like doing some drills and stuff over Alaska just to make sure. Because if something is going to go down, if they can take Alaska and establish a forward base, like, I'm no real military strategist, but that's a huge boon. So, and it's just so close to Russia. It's the biggest problem. And China, with their Arctic interests, Greenland is going to become super important. And I think at the end of the day, if we don't do something to show, like, maybe we don't get Greenland, maybe it's a posture, but if we don't show that, no, the U.S. is interested, the U.S. will take it, and Russia and China start creeping up on these countries and go, look, like, we can make a deal, we can get, like, the U.S. needs to show no. Like, at the very least, if you're going to make a deal, you're going to make a deal with us, Like, I don't want China or Russia. Like, Russia does this weird thing. Like, I looked into it. Russia talks like, oh, no, we have no interest. And then they have nuclear submarines right next to it. They go, no. They're like Danish ambassadors. Like, no, the Kremlin has no interest in Greenland at all. Do whatever you want with Greenland. Wink, wink. Like, it's crazy. He literally he does this, like, passive-aggressive kind of thing. And you're like, bro, we know you want Greenland. We know you're interested in Greenland. And, like, China has also done a lot of drills in the Arctic. And they've been pushing their Arctic interests a lot as well. So we're also seeing, like, this Arctic zone is going to be very, very important when it comes to war with with China and Russia. Like, Greenland, I think, is super important. And at the end of the day, I do think, like, I don't think we're going to get it. Honestly, I hope. I hope, like, because getting Greenland would be a huge boon. It would put, like, such a detriment on any Arctic action from China or Russia, and it would really allow us to kind of police that zone a lot better. But I don't see it happening, but I do think the strategy of pushing for it is very valuable. I think Trump talking like, hey, no, we want it, you're gonna fucking give it to us, and we're just asking for what we're owed, like, and not sending troops is smart. Like, he's first of all pushing Europe to take a stance against us so they can stand up for this, so they can stand up, which isn't the best, but he's also calling a bluff. Like, if we really wanted it, they aren't gonna say no. Like, if we really, really push, then we will take it, But they're like they are saying no, it's ours, whatever. They fish for the herring like we do, or something. I don't know what Greenland people. There's 50,000 people there. There's nobody. It's a drop in the fucking bucket. But they have minerals. Honestly, it's just like kind of an untapped well that, like, now that the ice is melting, it's revealing. Oh, you know what Greenland's like? Greenland's like a fat chick, dude. That just lost a bunch of weight, bro. She's like a fat religious chick. Maybe it's just a fat chick. You don't. Yeah, that's what it is. Greenland is like a fat chick that Greenland's like a fat chick that just lost a ton of weight and posted a bikini photo, dude. All that ice is melting. I mean, all those pounds just melted away and revealed all these ample minerals and some nice natural gas in her rear end. And now she's getting all these looks from other guys, but she's kind of tied down to this nerdy, kind of weird European dude who's got like a group of, and she's got this ex-boyfriend that's like from America, and he's hitting. Oh, it's like I just can't get this bit. Maybe it's like a girl that's at brunch. I just don't know. I'm gonna have to really write it out and think about it. Something like that, bro. But honestly, to summarize, Greenland, we fucking need it, and at the very least, we need to work out a very favorable deal with the Netherlands where they give us some money and we station bases and we can take some control of Greenland. It's going to be kind of a quick episode today. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Basically, the only other thing I know there's tons of stuff. I want to do a deep dive on this Epstein stuff, and I will do like 40 minutes an hour or something on the Epstein stuff next week. But this week, I'm just keeping it very short and sweet just to kind of get back in the swing of things. What I have, there was these kids. So this mom and her girlfriend took these kids to this public pool, and these toddlers. One of them's a baby, and the other one's 3 years old. All right, and when they went to the pool, they left him in the pool with floaties and went and had drinks for 35 minutes, and the kid drowned. The baby drowned, basically. Terrible, tragic story. Her 3-year-old sister had to pull her out of the pool. But America is about neglecting your children, and so you can go drink at the bar with your girlfriends. Like, if you can't drink at the bar with your girlfriends while your kid drowns, like, what is the point of even being in America? I might as well be in communist China. They had floaties. What do you even fucking talking? I don't even get it, bro. America is about going to your 9-to-5 job, wanting to shoot yourself and everyone there, and then letting your kid drown while you have drinks with your girlfriends. Honestly, the police have not identified the mother or anyone yet, but they should give that mom an award for she's a patriot in my eyes. You know what? I'm voting for her for president. She's probably, you know what? Maybe she, was a little irresponsible and she was having a fun time having drinks with her girlfriends and her kid drowned. But at least she's not a pedophile. At the very least, she's not a pedophile. Okay? I'm voting for her for president. Lady that let her kid drown because she wanted to get drunk with her buddies. Just, it is, like, it's crazy to me, dude. Like, going to have drinks with and then 35 minutes. I mean, honestly, nature versus nurture, she's really just a purist of Darwin's form. She's just a Darwin purist of like, no, dude, my kid drowned. Who gives a fuck? My kid drowned. But yeah, she went and let her kids, like, it's funny to me, just that level of, like, not caring is crazy. Like, and, like, maybe, like, there's just other solutions, get a drink, bring it to the pool, but, I'm, as her campaign manager, obviously, there was no problems. Obviously, this was a pool floaty manufacturer, the pool floaty manufacturers, Big Floaty, is liable in this situation. She just went to the drink 35 minutes. A kid with a floaty should be able to survive for hours, days on a floaty, okay? The floaty manufacturers, and you know what? Also the pool water. There was too much chlorine in the pool. It made the kid loopy. He couldn't think. The kid couldn't think right. So obviously she's going to be president because it's not her fault. The pool companies, Big Pool and Big Floaty, are liable. That is who is liable. Big Pool and Big Floaty. She did nothing wrong. What is wrong with just having a couple drinks with friends while your kid hangs out in the pool? Kids need to be independent. They need to learn to be independent. And you know what the problem though is today is these corporations cut corners. So your kid can't be left alone in a pool at 6 months old in a floaty. Well, her 3-year-old freaking sister has to pull him out of the pool, his corpse, and do CPR. Well, it's all on these big companies that are cutting corners, and mothers are just trying, she's just trying her hardest. She just wants to relax. She's got off work where this bitch was, she smoked a cigarette, and this bitch was talking about, oh, she stinks, and that's just terrible, and why would you smoke? And she goes, this is America, I can do what I fucking want. And then this bitch gave her a bad customer review, and now her manager's up her ass. You can't just let a girl relax while her kid learns how to be independent. No, because the corporations in America have cut corners and made it impossible for your child to learn independence. It's just terrible, and as her campaign manager and her lawyer, she won't be taking any comments, but she will be running for president in 2028, and we expect your votes because she is a true American patriot. All right, guys, it's been a super quick episode, but tune in next week. I'm going to do a lot of stuff. We're doing Epstein files, we're doing some shit on Iran, and then I'm going to do some other stuff. So I think it's going to be a good episode next week, but thanks, guys. Just kind of a short, kind of coming back into it. Peace.